Hello, folks. How's it going? I was just having a little bit of chocolate. Not too bad. Your chocolate's good for you now. Apparently, 3 months ago it was bad. Now it's good for you. So go get some chocolate. It's Halloween time. Not yet, really, but a couple of weeks. And I heard Herbie Hancock's coming to town, so that's kind of interesting. Man's been around for ages. Still doing it. But we're going to get on with the off night. Okay. It's the off night, and we're going to have your host and MC, Mr. Mark Sweetman.
All right. Where am I here? Oh, you know what? I'm doing this all wrong. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Got it. All right. There I am. Awesome. Welcome to the off night. It's every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific time, and the time zones in between. And on the outside of the U.S., you can check us out then. We're on the World Wide Web. Ever heard that before? World Wide Web. Who uses it? I'm a grandpa. Yeah. Using the World Wide Web. Anyway, let me get Andrew back out here. How did I do that? I did that somehow. There's a way to do this. Here we go. Does that do it? I thought it would. Oh, I see what happened. There we go. Hey, buddy.
Mark, are you saying that somebody possibly in Minsk is looking at us right now?
Well, I have a counter.
Somebody in Copenhagen might be actually, eating some herring while we're just up here talking.
There is a distinct possibility that could happen. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it is possible.
That somebody in Siberia could be looking at us for our hour, and this is their greatest time.
They're trying to improve their English.
Got it. Well,
or they're Detroit sports fans.
Okay. Well,
and they're just kind of checking in with everything.
Not ask. It's ask. Okay.
Ask. Okay.
Anyway. So, once again, I'm not going to be compelled to go up on stage when I'm not ready.
Based on last night's performance?
Based on last night's total brain, it completely left, I thought I had it, and then completely couldn't find any sort of, and not even an anchor, to wait a minute, and then it just started slowly coming in. I had worked 12 hours that day, so I'm not to blame. It's the 12 hours in a car, just talking to people over and over again. Yes, hi, very good. Yes, okay, all right, have a good day. Yeah, no, dog's fine. Okay, bye. No vaping. There's no vaping in the car. No, sorry, no vaping. Get out now. Sorry. 12 hours a day of that. There you go.
I didn't think it did that bad. I mean, it was, what I like is that we have that couple that comes every week. We finally have Mike, the Dr. Mike, the doctor of philosophy.
Oh.
And the couple that sat in the back there, they've been regulars now, at least through well, Mike's been there over a year.
Got
it. But that couple's been coming all summer.
Well, I did better last week. I had my material better. I was rehearsed. Right. They laughed. I was killing. I didn't say kill, but I had it was a good response to the material.
Oh, you know what? It just popped up on the screen, so I want to mention it. Click our like button if you're on YouTube. Also, go to our youtube.com/@theoffnight page and subscribe. That helps us with numbers. That helps us get viewers. And the more viewers we get, the more things YouTube will do for us to help us monetize this thing. So there we go.
Well, if somebody had been there who said he was going to be there, I went to see him play his stuff, and then I got sacked into going up on stage.
So you didn't really come to go on stage. You came to watch somebody else.
I did. I came to watch a very important person get on stage who said he was going to get on stage.
A VIP. This would be both an unclub and an off night VIP.
I would say, yeah, a VIP. Yeah.
All right. That's 2 questions down. Arlene, you're next.
There we go. Is he bigger than a bread box? Yes.
Yes. Would you say this person is in show business? Not really. No.
No, he's
Soupy Sales. You're next.
Oh, there we go.
That'd be a fun game to play online. I mean, really, we could, if you think of that would be a great game to play online because nobody knows who all these people are. These old timers. That'd be fun.
Yeah. It's all kind of, nobody has any idea anymore. It's like, I question kids. I ask kids like, so what does that mean? When you said that, what does that mean? They kind of go like, why? Why do you want to know? You're the young crowd. You're the new communicators. Just want to know why you say something in a certain way.
That's right.
Get away from me, creepy man. Say, hey, old man, hit the road. Oh, are we gonna have the poem?
The what?
The poem?
We are. We're gonna bring Susan on next.
Oh, cool. Very good.
All right. Here comes my bride and our poetess, our news commentator. She puts the news headlines in verse every week. Please welcome back Susan Sweetman. Hi, how you doing?
Well, now you did that play thing.
Yes,
we
that was,
did.
I enjoyed it.
We
I don't know if anybody
prepared
else,
for last night.
I don't know if anybody else enjoyed it, but we actually rehearsed ours.
Yeah, you did. Now, why didn't you tell?
Right.
Why didn't you tell anybody it was the Bickersons?
What?
It's in the
at the end. We did.
At the end. Why didn't you tell them in the
John
beginning?
Bickerson.
I don't know. What did it matter to anybody? I mean, everybody would talk. I mean, Darwin didn't know who the Bickersons was. Mike didn't know who the. I mean, I think really Tim and Andy were the only ones that knew who the Bickersons were when we started doing the Bickersons.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard. I got a collection of old radio shows.
Well, these are all on public domain now because they're all over 75 years old.
My daughter guessed that they were a radio program. So.
I mean, Jack Benny was on the radio. All those guys.
Rochester.
So Mark and I talked about doing that for about a year or so, and finally we did. So it was a long time in coming. So we finally spent probably a good 30 minutes deciding what we were going to do, including one run through. A lot of time and effort into that. I think the printing took longer.
I think who had Fibber's Closet? What was Fibber, McGee, and Molly?
Fibber, McGee, and Molly, yeah.
So we can have the closet thing come up. Don't open that closet, Fibber. No.
I don't know.
Well, the I can't remember the name of the show that the Bickersons run, but it wasn't called the Bickersons. They were just like a 10-minute segment of whatever show they were doing.
The honeymoon is over or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it now, but Danny Thomas was on that show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And both Danny Thomas and Francis Langford sang. I'm sure Don Amici did, but not in this episode,
Wow.
Yeah, he played John Bickerson.
That's right.
He
did other stuff too. Yeah, he was kind of the host of it too. He acted as the host of the whole show. Anyway, it was kind of fun.
Who did the voices for the Warner Brothers?
Which Warner Brothers?
The cartoons.
Oh,
Mel Blanc?
Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, Benny Hill had Mel Blanc do the sound effects for his car.
Oh, that's funny.
So when he was on the radio, he's trying to start up. Could you bring out the Bentley? And then Mel Blanc started going along.
Broom.
You know who was good at that from our generation was Jim Carrey. He used to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
And Michael Winslow. Remember Michael Winslow? Did you ever see him?
I did. Yeah. Wasn't he in the not Chan, but Jackie Chan films?
No, you're thinking of Chris. That was Chris Tucker. Michael Winslow was in the Police Academy films.
Oh yeah.
Oh
okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, he did all the sound effects.
Yeah.
Do you want your poem tonight?
Yeah, let's hear the poem.
Shall I start?
Yes.
Okay. 2 judges block Trump sending troops to Portland. I'll send them from California. Does Trump not understand? Israel and Hamas are in Egypt having a peace talk. Give me the Nobel, Trump was heard to squawk. The government shut down. This is day number 6. The Senate met today, but there is no quick fix. Trump criticized a judge for not releasing North Carolina voter files. while he sits in the White House with his cankles and smiles. So an arsonist set South Carolina judge's home ablaze. An explosion after death threats. My mind is in a haze. And the Supreme Court refused to hear Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal. Please bring back President Roosevelt's 1930s New Deal. That's your poem.
All right,
cool.
thanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? There's something about asking for a Nobel Prize that seems ignoble to me.
Yeah. It's very not noble.
Asking
but
for
his name was Nobel, it's not to be noble.
I know.
Like was his motivation to actually bring peace or to get the Peace Prize? You know, it's like,
I think it was to leave a legacy of something better than
what he's doing.
The crap that his contemporaries were, bestowing. So he wanted some kind of a decent legacy.
I'm sure if he ever
That's all I know. I haven't been nominated either. So Trump and I have something in common.
Yeah, when he turns the tables, he thinks he's doing it for a better reason than Christ, so.
Right. Well, perhaps somebody will see all my wonderful poems on this show and nominate me for the literary Nobel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, well, if Trump wins the Nobel Peace Prize, you got a pretty good chance of winning some literature prize. That's for sure.
Yeah, I bet he can't run a half marathon.
Smartest. Okay, well, that's good. I'm sure the collection will be taken out of the library. So You
bring in Jason on or no?
I am going to bring in Jason. Here he comes.
All right,
here comes our friend. Oh, it's the robot. Oh no, there's Jason. There you
go. Oh, Dr. Smith.
There you go. And Nobel invented the prizes to assuage his guilt for inventing dynamite, which was also being used for high explosives that was killing a lot of people. That's why he started doing what he was doing, and that's why the Peace Prize also goes, I believe it's the Danes who award it and the Norwegians who award the other prizes, if memory serves, but I could be wrong.
I think that's pretty accurate.
The Danes award the Peace Prize?
Either the Danes or the Norwegians. I could have that. Again, if I'm wrong, it's 180 degrees wrong, which is to say it's like either the Danes or the Swedes.
I think it's Copenhagen.
Well, that would be in Dane. That'd be the Danelands, right?
All right, all right. I'm putting $1 on the Swedes, $1 on the Danes. Okay,
yeah, there you go.
In either case, he wanted to leave a legacy of something good instead of all the bad. So,
it's
good to see you all. I have company, so I am going to say farewell. I hope you get home. Don't forget to hit that like button.
There you go. There you go. Tell the teasers, and yes, absolutely.
Tell all your friends that there's great poetry on Monday nights.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. All you people in Minsk, poetry on Wednesday night.
I even appear
Oslo, unto Oslo.
So long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, adieu.
Adieu.
Your countries for the Nobel Prize are Sweden and Norway.
Well, there you go. Okay, so
and
it's not
Sweden awards the prizes in physics, chemistry, physiology, medicine, literature, and economics. Okay. Norway awards the prize in peace.
There you go. All right. Well,
I wonder why it's split up like that.
He didn't trust the Swedes.
Oh, really?
We forget that Sweden actually had a rather martial history back in the day. They've kind of been in their own little place for some time now. But if you ask the Finns, who lived for a couple hundred years under Swedish domination, they will tell you, hold on. Yeah, I know they all talk about pickled herrings and ABBA records, but let me tell you that there's more going on than meets the eye. So you got to be careful. These people used to be Vikings, and they're not afraid to let you know it either. Sorry, I was not there last night, guys. Much like Andy, I was working 12-hour shifts. In fact, even more between homecoming game, as I'm sure you noticed, there was a big athletic event in Ann Arbor this weekend.
Yes.
And
I profited from that myself too, but I worked during the day.
And I worked overnight at the track, making over $30 an hour, doing overtime driving, which after spending most of August completely either invalid or laid off, I can assure you I'm snorkeling up every dollar I can, especially overtime at this point in time. So I apologize, but at this point in time, does this mean that I can be hoarded out for $30 an hour? And the answer is absolutely.
Yes, you can.
In fact, it doesn't even take $30 an hour, but I'm going to kind of hold on to that.
Fellas, I'm gonna leave you to handle the show here for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll be able to hear you. I'll be within earshot, but I have to take care.
Then.
I take care of some out of studio business here for just a second.
Just for a minute.
I'll be back in 5 to 10.
Okay. All right, Andy. I sent through. I don't know if you had a chance to see it yet. A bit of Shakespeare that I really think you need to perform as.
What?
Well, it's the Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech from Julius Caesar, performed, of course, by Mark Anthony, and I would love to see you do that either as William Shatner, who Mark tells me Shatner did play Antony in the early 1960s on a Canadian broadcast, but did Shatner portray Mark Anthony as William as Captain Kirk?
Captain Kirk,
right?
Yes. I'll try and do it. Steve Kirk, yeah. But he also,
or Christopher Walken.
Could you see Kirk, Captain Kirk, as the Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream?
No. That'd be wonderful. Actually,
there's a picture of him in his one of his books of him as Puck. So
well, I mean, we only think that he sort of started. He boomed into existence with Star Trek, which of course he didn't.
No.
He was an established actor. In fact, he was a well-established actor. And after Jeffrey Hunter's wife kind of like skewed that whole deal with him, which maybe was for the best because he ended up dying like a year later.
Oh.
He either he was in a car accident or something like that. But I mean, he was dead before Star Trek finished its run.
Wow.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Hunter had also been a major movie star. So I don't know.
Talking about Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter from the Menagerie.
It's Captain Pike. Yes, Jeffrey Hunter. Right. So I mean,
also played Jesus Christ in
The Greatest Story Ever Told. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which. Yeah. But that
wasn't The Greatest Story Ever Told. It was another one.
Are you sure it wasn't The Greatest Story Ever Told? Or was it the Bible? John.
Was the Bible? Maximilian Schell was in The Greatest One Ever Told.
Okay. Good actor.
I looked up Jeffrey Hunter.
The funny thing about Maximilian Schell, he and Eric Braeden, better known as Hans Gudegast, and he's also been on The Young and the Restless for the last 50 years. They both, as German actors, ran into one thing that they really got tired of, and that was playing Nazis. Which in the early 60s, young, good-looking German men, yes, we do have work for you. However, there's a uniform involved.
Yeah. Well, that's the legacy you get after World War II.
When you try and conquer the world not once but twice, and end up not being able to pull it off either time, and getting like I get a great line from William Shatner again, Captain Kirk addressing Khan. Oh, you've managed to kill just about everyone else, but like a bad marksman, you just keep missing. As he was, down there in the planet while Khan, played expertly by Ricardo Montalban, orbits overhead. You just keep missing the mark. I'm laughing at your superior intellect, Khan.
I'm laughing.
To this day, Montalban claims that chest that he had was him, that it wasn't a rubber prosthetic piece, that he was actually... that if you ever go back and look at his outfit in the movie Star Trek II, Ricardo, for a man of his age, he's doing pretty good. Yes, I mean, would I like to have a chest like that? Sure. But especially in the freezer downstairs, but never mind that.
He didn't take any. He didn't take any.
Well, for years, it was rumored that was actually a prosthetic. But he claims no, that's him. That was all natural.
Yeah, but he didn't take any steroids. He just did it.
He just did it, and which I suppose is possible. I mean, Ricardo Montalban was he was a serious actor. I mean, he was absolutely committed to his roles, and heck, I mean, clearly even into late in age, he stayed a very slim and trim man. He didn't end up bloating out. He didn't look like Orson Welles, 3 days before they threw dirt on him.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the pictures of Orson as a young Orson Welles, and then Orson Welles when he's in his final days, where he's like in some sort of a mobility, just
mobility unit,
mushrooming out of.
When he talks about him being in Citizen Kane, he said he was fighting weight all the time.
Yeah,
like he'd change the angle of so it didn't show his jowls,
Right. Yeah.
So he's constantly. That's why he got all those weird angles. And he's like very artistic. Yeah, right.
Well, he also had Greg Toland as his.
Jeffrey Hunter was in King of Kings.
King of Kings. Well, I was close.
You're close.
He's close. I mean, but yes, that's where Jeffrey Hunter was. And
but when I found out from a friend of mine, Victoryville.
Yes.
Is where I'm going to be doing Santa Claus. I'll be doing Santa Claus in Victoryville, California.
All right.
But I found out that is where Orson Welles and John Houseman,
right,
got Mansk. I think that's the guy's name.
Yeah.
Mikowitz, and stuck him out there and had him write Citizen Kane.
Kane, yes, exactly. They had the idea. But he was the one who sort of put the music to it, as it were. I mean, Mankiewicz also, like, he's the one who helped saved Cleopatra, which went through a lot of iterations and whatnot. Mankiewicz was called in, and I don't think he directed it, but I know that he did a lot of work on the script.
Yeah.
Now, did Mankiewicz adapt? I just watched it. The Julius Caesar, Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, with Marlon Brando as Antony.
Oh.
Who's actually his best speech in that is in fact just before the Friends. It is the "Cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war."
Cry havoc, let loose the dogs of war.
Again, it's just before what we consider Brando now. I mean, he was definitely. I mean, yeah, he's Brando, but he was not trying to play into characters that he had done previously. I mean, you can see he was taking the role very seriously. But again, who's in that movie? Gielgud, James Mason, your personal friend James Mason.
James Mason.
Yes, James Mason, playing Brutus. He's an honorable man. So were they all honorable men. Come I, Antony, to speak at my friend's funeral.
Who did Mason played?
He played Brutus.
Brutus, yes. He was
right, and John Gielgud played was it Cassius, if I'm not mistaken. And then I forget. Gerd Garson played Calpurnia. So Caesar's wife.
The greatest story ever told. Max von Sydow. Jesus.
Well, what did Jeffrey Hunter play? He was in King of Kings, also playing.
He played Jesus in King of Kings.
Okay, so if we had Max von Sydow and Jeffrey Hunter together, we could have sort of a battle of the Jesus. Kind of thing going there. I mean, as you know, Robert Redford passed away a couple of weeks ago, but watching his 3 Days of the Condor, where you compare and contrast Max von Sydow, who plays the hired hitman, the sort of like Terminator, if you will.
Yeah.
And then you compare that with No Country for Old Men, where Bardem plays Anton Chigurh. It's very interesting to see, because they're essentially playing the same thing.
Yeah.
They both play the hired assassin who just can't be turned off. Once you put him into motion, that's it. And the way that both actors sort of approach that role, Chigurh is very serious about sort of playing his guy as a real sociopath, with just a little flair of humor when he goes into the dusty little gas station and makes the guy call for the coin.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, but there's at one point where he says, "Don't put the coin in your pocket; it'll just be another coin. That's your lucky coin." You know, it's not just another coin. And then he looks at it and goes, "Which it is," and just shoots him a little look. You know, and then sort of stumble but the guy realizes he just had a brush with death, even without saying it. Whereas Mark Spencer, again, in 3 Days of the Condor, Robert Redford, encounters Joubert, as his name is, the character name.
Yeah.
And
in the elevator.
which almost gets him killed. But at the very end, his enemy within the CIA is revealed, and Von Sydow kills him because they said, well, they reached out to me, and this guy was about to be a problem, so we took care of the problem. You on the other hand, I no longer have a contract for you, and
I just watched.
They didn't know you would be here, but I knew you would be here.
Yeah.
I just watched 3 Days of the Condor a couple.
What
days
did you think, Mark?
I had seen it, but I hadn't seen it since I was a teenager, so it was a good film.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting to see sort of New York? Again, New York that doesn't exist. I mean, you've been to New York recently. You've been to New York over the years.
I've been more to New York since Disney took over Times Square. But
They have all the little animals back there.
Yeah, well, now all the shenanigans are done up in the corporate boardrooms, not down on the streets. Like it was before Disney took over.
Did you work a lot in New York back in the day? I know you did Boston and you did L.A.
I did. My big cities were Houston, Atlanta, Charlotte, surprisingly enough, because there was a big agency down there.
Yeah.
Orlando, L.A., San Francisco. Did a lot of Phoenix, Arizona, Minneapolis, Chicago, Indianapolis. I did it quite a few times.
Well, this sort of leads me to my next question. I know that the Boston connection was a big deal, but was New York as big a deal? More so? If you went out to the clubs?
New York. The reason I didn't go to New York and I went Chicago, L.A. was because I had family Chicago, L.A. I didn't have any family in New York.
Okay.
And I had family in Boston, so right. I had places to stay.
Yeah,
when I go to these places,
sleep on a couch.
And New York and LA were both expensive. The difference was LA was I could stay above my father's garage.
What was the pay like, though? I was listening to Dennis Miller talk about, he's a struggling comedian in New York. He's living with his brother Jimmy. Yep. But they're like sharing some flop house hovel where he says, the cockroaches are like doing push-ups, and what how Miller talks about this stuff and just trying to get by. Was the pay anything like that?
It was. I could not have. One. Another reason I was able to move to Chicago and LA was that I was married at the time, and a lot of it had to do with where my wife could get work. If my wife was able to get a 6-figure job in New York, like Sammy's wife, Barbara, she's an executive assistant. She's like,
right.
She's the nice face on the firings.
Yes. Oh yeah, exactly. She's right.
We're gonna have to let this guy go. Barbara, handle it.
Yeah. Listen, we're here to help you with this transition in your life.
Exactly. We're here to help you with this transition. Therefore, we've reinforced the bottom of the box that you're going to enter your desk in.
Too. And we want you to know that just because we send the armed guard to help you clean out your space and escort you off the property, it's not personal. It's just the nature of your job. I've
been let go 3 times, and all 3 times I was given the entire day.
Ooh.
To settle things up.
God, I don't know if I've been per se let go. I've had court orders, so saying you can't walk on the property. So I guess there's that. I don't know. I never had a job. In all seriousness, I never had a job with any kind of prestige along those lines ever. That was never a thing, never a possibility for me.
My daughter, 18 years old, and we told her, you should give a couple weeks notice. You don't want to, if you need to use them as a reference, you don't want to just bail on them. So she gives him 2 weeks, and she goes, "No, leave now." And she writes him. Their boss writes her a check, says, "Get out."
Well, actually, that kind of makes sense in a way.
It was a bakery. She worked for
Yeah.
a bakery. Come on.
Yeah, but if she doesn't want to be there, then if she's got something
No, it
better lined up.
doesn't. She liked the job. She just, it was in a bakery. She was working at a bakery. She was
Right.
going to school to be a nurse, and then she got a job in a nursing home. So she
Right.
goes, "This is closer to what I want to do." So
My nephew just came back from Hawaii, where apparently the guy he was working for had some sort of thing where basically the software that we're presently using to make our phones go, he helped design. So he got retired with more money than, Pharaoh would say, "Wow, that's a lot." Cleopatra would say, "That's really, you can use the third pyramid for that." Yeah, the third one right over there, that one. Yeah, the big one. But like like one of the rooms that he was doing, it has 3 chairs. Each chair costs $60,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of the wood is just some of this amazing wood. It has to sit for like 30 years before you can even touch it or do anything with it. So again, and they put some of this wood in and whatnot, and the missus comes in and goes, "I don't know, that one kind of has this blemish on it. That's a bit unfortunate." And when you hear stuff like that, you just want to like teleport yourself into the room and shoot that person with a bazooka, because you have no idea. You're standing in the midst of luxury and technology that sort of conquering alien capitalists from the future could not even imagine, whilst half of your island was recently in flames and families incinerated because the alarms didn't work, and you're worried about the wood not quite having the exact right grain. So am I ranting? I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
yes,
I apologize.
I love your ranting.
Well, thank you.
That's what I'm here for on Monday nights.
Yeah.
in fact, I forgot about this. I've got a little tag for it. What did I do? Hold on here. Hold on.
He's on a rant.
Yeah. Let me. I forgot to. I got so enamored with your ranting, I forgot to put the little. I forgot to put the little tag in there.
If you put it back up there, let me know. Because you know me, at the drop of a hat, I can be back at it again.
All right. Well, when you see the tag, you'll probably get right back into it. Here we go. All right.
I mean, so this is the kind of woman who I know is descendant of the people who ran the Jewish space laser that destroyed half the island, because that's what they say these days, and is sitting out there, feasting on the bones of the people who were left behind, yet complaining because the wood didn't have the proper grain, while she sits in a house that even Cleopatra would have found a bit extravagant and a tad over the top. Well, and somehow or another, we're supposed to sit and have some kind of sympathy or mercy, whilst we know that people walk around your latest Amazon slave shop with some kind of a bottle so they don't soil themselves or leave behind a trail of human waste. And yet, somehow or another, we're supposed to convince ourselves that we don't need unions, that people are fine, that don't worry about a thing, it'll all be all right. And yet, when they show up with pitchforks and torches, willing to burn down the house and dance with the heads of their children on a pole, you're flying away on your Elon Musk helicopter going, "I don't understand. We were so nice to them. I can't understand why they're upset with us." There you go. It's not one of my best rants, but I kind of do mean it.
You bring up a point that I've thought about a lot recently, and that is when I, very famously, we've had the Bolshevik Revolution.
Yeah, they did. We did have them. Yep.
And we've had, we've just had these, the French Revolution, the American Revolution, where it was just like the people just said, "Enough! You just cannot do this. There's more of us than there are of you."
Yep.
And so they just stand up to them. And I always thought that would keep the rich and the powerful sort of benevolent.
Well, in a way, you're correct. Henry Ford I, bastard though he was, did understand that you paid your people, and he did. He, wasn't a perfect man, to be fair, but he did help create a middle class that bought the products they were able to assemble. And guess what? He ended up being one of the richest people who ever lived, died in his bed, had plenty of money. He didn't have to worry about government cheese. He wasn't I mean, and the thing that we're going to now with this technological revolution that we're in the midst of is no longer about making the customer happy. It is about servicing your investor class and return on your investment, which is why Andy and I work for a firm that is essentially an arbitrage firm now. It tries to find the highest price it can charge the customer, the driver they can pay the least amount to, while they sit there and claim what's in between. And they have the algorithmic power to sit there, and even if it's a matter of pennies, they can do it times a million.
Don't now, doesn't that model destroy itself?
You'd like to think. If there's some kind of competition.
Why isn't that happening?
Because they have actually engaged. This is what happens with monopolies. And it is now monopolistic. Andy, you're going to say something. I don't want to step on you. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's changing. They're not valuing the driver anymore because they plan on trying to get rid of the drivers and still make money.
Yeah, soon we will all be gone.
Cars.
With driverless cars will be here, and we will all be gone. And that's the way. And if in the meantime we PO some customers, so what? Where else are they going to go?
All right.
We're still going to be. We'll be here. They'll be here. Well, what are you going to do about it, pal? And again, at some point, even when you have a dyed-in-the-wool capitalist like me loading up the 12 gauge and putting kerosene on a stick with a rope around, ready to march into a neighborhood.
Henry Ford had it right. It's like,
let me get your rant. Let me get your rant. You
can't make $1 million if you don't have anybody to buy your product.
Exactly.
So it's like you can automate it all you want, but there's nobody's going to buy your product, and who's going to buy it?
One would think that a man with half hillbilly and half German heritage, I'd be the perfect man to lead this. It's just unfortunately that I inherited the traits that makes me want to watch NASCAR and eat fried chicken. I kind of got the other,
the big time wrestling, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, wear lederhosen, eating cheesy puffs. Yeah, exactly. It's like not the, you'd like to have the other half, but I'm sorry. There's other things that kind of came along with it, and that's sort of what I ended up with. I'm sorry, but that's where we are now, and it's a shame. I mean, in the sense that we have technology here that seriously. You and I mean, this is all science fiction stuff when we were kids. Remember a computer in the house?
Do you know the AI is now able to speak to the animals?
Just imagine it.
Yeah.
Chatting with a chimp and chimpanzee.
I know. They're actually able to start communicating and figure out what the animals are saying to each other.
And what are they saying, Dad? Then they're saying, kill the biped.
Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? I want to know where the ball is.
Where's the ball? Where's the ball?
No, okay.
Are you going to drop that?
Where's the ball?
Are you going to drop that? Are you going to drop
that?
I'm
hiding the ball. I want the ball.
Are you going to drop that? Are you going to drop that? Are you going to drop that? Give me the canned stuff. Give me the canned stuff. Give me the canned stuff. Give me the canned stuff.
And pretty soon we'll be adapting chimpanzees and orangutans and whatnot and using them as pets and household servants. Because what could possibly go wrong? I mean,
I don't know.
That.
They'll have an experiment. They'll cross it with human beings, and then they'll, the brains will get there.
Instead of Charlton Heston at the end of Planet of the Apes, what about Christopher Walken as he sees?
I don't know. They got these scarecrows out here. And it's wow.
Looking at the
they look like animals riding horses.
Get your hands off me, you stinking ape.
Get your hands off. I don't know why you want to touch me, but just please let me go.
Let me go.
You stinking, you animals. You stinking apes.
Oh,
I don't know where you've been.
Actually, I
haven't been here.
Actually, I prefer to see Seinfeld in that role. Get your hands off me, you stupid ape.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Come on.
Was Seinfeld?
Yeah, with Jerry, doing that. So again, I apologize. I've got some stuff that I really want to do. You've heard a lot of it here, and I literally, because again, I've got $6,000 worth of hospital bills they're coming after me for, because it's like, well, we helped you save your leg. Now you don't want us to come and saw it off and beat you with it.
Man,
6,000. They call us sawbones for a real reason.
I'd like you to meet with Tony Soprano, our head of collections.
Do you want the fine sawbone, or you want the rakes?
It would be unfortunate if we had to come and get your leg back from you.
It didn't fall off because of infection, but if you break the leg, you could lose it all the same, couldn't you? It could be just as bad, maybe even worse.
We want to break the leg to make it nice and easy, clean cut.
And guess what? You'd still owe me the money. So, it's not like that.
You can pay me now, or you can pay me later.
But you're gonna pay, and you're gonna pay a lot.
So, I did you a favor. Now you have to do me a favor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are you ready to do your godfather the service? Sure.
Someday I'll have to do this. Make my boy look beautiful.
You see that what I love is the guy who was supposed to be Frank Sinatra, but I forget the character.
Frankie Fontaine.
Yeah. What I love about him is he understood. Michael's out there. We've got some contracts here. We'd like you to sign. We'd like you to get your friends. He's like, absolutely, whatever you need. He doesn't want a dead. He doesn't want a dead animal in his bed. He doesn't want to get shot through the eye. He's like, oh, Michael. Whatever, absolutely.
What do we need? What do the Godfather need?
What do we need? I've got friends. You want me to sing now? Call the band.
Whatever we go,
Exactly.
Whatever you need.
You bring some of your friends over,
Exactly.
Mark, did you ever work any sort of gang or a hoodlum place at all?
Had to be some mobs places still.
Yeah, back in the late 70s. We still the clean clubs were over in Windsor because there was more government involvement, and here they were sort of like they used the First Amendment because a lot of them were strip joints.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so these were artists, that were doing what they were doing. Not money launderers. They were artists.
No, they were artists. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And so the thing is about the cops. The thing is about the cops, they had the three things that the cops wanted, which was basically sex, money, and protection,
Mm-hmm.
Lawyers, guns, and money. Absolutely. It was just send them all.
Well, we used to work at Mr. G's. It was our final show at Holly Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a G strip place, the stripper club.
Well, that was a different kind of stripper club than we had in Detroit, though. I mean, the Detroit clubs were... a lot of them. I mean, when I started doing comedy, there were still numbers runners. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, and you know why there were numbers runners?
Because there was no lottery.
There was a lottery. You know what the lottery did? They paid half the amount that the illegal numbers did.
Oh, that figured.
You know what I mean? In other words, you pick three numbers, right? And you win $500. So that's 1,000 to 1 odds,
right? To
pick three numbers, but they're only paying you $500.
Right.
So the bookmakers, the numbers runners would still say, well, we'll still give you 1,000, just like we did before.
Because in my understanding, they were using what, like the baseball games, or it was some random thing.
They used the Hazel Park's last three numbers for their total payout.
Oh,
because it was always a very random number. You could never guess. You could never find a pattern in it or anything. It was always whatever the 3 digits that the total payout at Hazel Park was.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you know what? You didn't hear that from me. I know nothing about this. I have no idea.
It was a personal experience.
I have no idea how the mob ran things at all.
This is something you read on the internet.
You're gonna be ending up with Jimmy Hoffa. You'll be having dinner with Jimmy Hoffa.
No. Well, I mean, actually, did they like bill him for the reservation that he missed?
I don't know.
You got to. Yes, Mrs. Hoffa. We know it's very unfortunate. But...
I'm sure somebody said, "We'll take care of it. Don't worry."
We'll take care of it.
I think
you know where he is. We'll just take care of it.
We already took care of it.
Yeah. Hey! Look at me. I'm a big star. I'm taking care of Jimmy Hoffa.
Did you guys ever see The Irishman?
Yes.
That was a good one.
No, I didn't see it all the way through, but I was listening to, because it's the 50th anniversary of Dog Day Afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
They were on PBS, on NPR. They were doing an interview with all the people that were involved with it.
Right.
And they got Al Pacino talking about, the Irishman. I don't know. Yes.
He
was playing Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes.
They want you out. I'm staying. I know where everybody is. They're not going to take
I bought Jack as Jimmy Hoffa a lot more than I did him, than Pacino. I appreciate what Pacino was trying to do, but I think Jack did a better job.
Jack did a much better job. Yeah.
You know. What's funny is if you go, but you mentioned Pacino. He's had a thing where he's been doing Richard III. He's been doing a movie about Richard III for 40 years. Yeah. Which he only shows it. I mean, seriously, he only shows it to like people who like they'll come over to the house and he's like, "Hey, you want to see a movie with me in it?" And they're like,
Richard III? No,
this isn't the one where you're playing the gay dude in the the cruising movie outtakes, is it? No. This is a Shakespearean masterpiece. Oh, okay,
Richard
good. Yeah, all right, yeah. So he and also his performance as the devil in Devil's Advocate is really.
Is that the one with Keanu Reeves?
Yes, it is. It is, and it is also one of the movies to really use CGI. Not the first one, but it's early CGI.
Just a quick back to Dog of the Afternoon.
Yes.
He wasn't supposed to say Attica.
Oh, really?
No, the assistant director asked him to say Attica.
Okay.
And nobody knew he was going to say it.
Right.
And then it's Attica was like part of it. Was like at that time, and then they had the audience started to respond to it, and that was in the moment shot.
Dog Day Afternoon. I saw Dog Day Afternoon this year, and I also saw The French Connection. Some of those old New York clips are just. I mean, it doesn't look anything like that anymore.
Well, my understanding that in French Connection, there's some scenes there where they shot outside and it's winter, and they really shot outside when it was really winter, and you really get the feel that everyone was just freezing their damned asses off.
Yeah, you could see their breath coming out of there.
Yeah, I mean. One thing I like, and it's funny, Dog Day Afternoon is, of course, the exact opposite time of year. It's hot. And you can feel the heat in that movie. You can feel how confined and, and they shoot it in confined. They shoot it from in the car, inside the bank office. I mean, it's very claustrophobic. And, and again, Lumet manages to put it together that way. One thing he did with the woman who played Al Pacino's mother, he said, no matter what Al says, I want you to stick to your lines. Al's going to say what Al's going to say. You stick to your lines as best as you can. And it works because he's out there saying stuff and she's sticking to the script. And it really comes across as two people who just simply are not communicating with each other.
Yeah.
Just on two totally different planes.
Oh, yeah.
All together.
And he told them to go even higher. Go even. Unleash yourself,
right?
And I mean, I really like that director's movies. He's so good.
Sidney Lumet.
Yes,
Sidney Lumet.
Lumet was again. He made one of my favorite Cold War movies, Failsafe.
Oh yeah,
which introduces Fritz Weaver in his first major role.
Failsafe was that Henry Fonda? Failsafe.
Yes, where Henry Fonda plays the president, and after that movie, he could have ran for president.
Rod Steiger in Pawnbroker.
Yes, another amazing film.
And it's like, the thing what Lumet would do that was different than a lot of other directors. He would rehearse for 2 weeks.
Yes.
So you would know your lines.
Yeah.
As you were doing the show, and you'd be at comfort with the line, be comfort with the other people.
Right.
And then they were just.
When Friedkin is doing the Exorcist. He says he rehearses everyone. He says we could have put it on as a play. We got that good at it. And then I came in. I said, everyone, everything we just done, forget about it. Don't even think. Don't do it that way at all. Because he felt that he'd kind of like crushed all the life out of it, and he wanted to sort of revivify it. Bogdanovich was notorious for being the first take is the most honest take. He tells Cloris Leachman, who wins an Academy Award with that last speech that she does with Timothy Bottoms in Last Picture Show, which also happens to have playing Sam the Lion in a speech that he just that one time, one shot, one take,
one shot. Well, usually it's the first 2 shots. Film, right?
Yep.
A lot of directors say that the most honest shot is usually the first shot because that's what You know, and
Well,
then
but Bogdanovich almost got fired off that because they're seeing his dailies, and they're saying he's not shooting cover shots.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
well,
like,
you know, eventually he had to shoot 2 of them. You know,
yeah, well, yeah, to keep. But I mean, at the time, he was still not exactly. He wasn't Bogdanovich yet. He was after that movie.
But you know, then you contrast that with Hitchcock and Kubrick.
Yeah.
Who went endless shots, but it's like, you know,
Well,
I still agree with like, you don't get a better shot,
right?
Just because you wear the actor down,
right?
I was like, you know, why don't you just tell them what you want and maybe they'll give it to you. You know, it's like,
that goes back to the old. Was it Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier and Marathon Man?
Yeah,
I've been up for over 48 hours. Oh, Dustin, maybe you should just try acting.
maybe you should try acting. You know, as opposed to
my character's been up for 48 hours. Oh.
Yeah, there's a real method acting is really kind of taking a hit lately. So.
Yeah, I mean, what would you say? The Meisner is probably the best progenitor of that, or you know,
Who's
I mean,
that?
it's all Sandy Meisner, you know, the Meisner technique, or do you think you want to go back
Stella
to maybe
Adler.
Stella Adler, or
Well, Stella Adler is very interesting. She was the one that Marlon Brando went after.
Yeah, right.
And you know, she was there. It's the guy. It was the other guy that destroyed Hollywood because he was using memory whatever that's called. And he was trying to get them to recreate this memory in order to, you know,
exactly,
create something.
Right. Yeah.
And he says, and Adler said that all you're doing is confusing the actor. You know, they're trying to remember this thing. They're not in the moment, and it's not working. You know,
well,
she said it put such
Stanislavski.
Stanislavski. There we go.
Yeah.
Stanislavski technique or method. And
Lee Strasberg. Lee Strasberg is another method actor proponent.
Right. And take for example, if you will, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where Eli, what's his name?
Eli Wallach.
Wallach is playing the renegade Mexican. You gotta love it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and he has the one scene with the priest who's his brother, who's some sort of prelate now, you know, and one is speaking Italian. Eli Wallach doesn't speak Italian. He's just speaking his line, and the way they worked it out, the guy would say something, and when he stopped, Eli would say his lines.
Yeah,
and it works. And again, that movie that movie is such a hodgepodge, but it works because again, it's an Italian movie. No one's going to complain about skimpy portions. It's just all over the place.
Well, this is why you live in LA. This is why you live in LA. Even if you're poor as heck, this is why you live in LA. Because you go to the post office and you hold the door open for this very old man.
Yeah.
And it's Eli Wallach.
Yeah.
I met Eli Wallach going to the post office.
Exactly.
And he's like, you know, he knew they recognized him. And it's like, he's old. The guy's old.
Yeah.
But I thanked him for the movies, and my dad used to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
He was very grateful. And I held the door for him.
Yeah.
But you don't get things like that back. Wait a minute, we did. You asked Tim Henning.
Tim Burton.
Tim Henning.
Yeah,
was Tim Burton.
Tim
We
Burton.
were walking down Main Street in Ann Arbor.
Yep.
And we were passing the outdoor coffee place.
Yeah.
It was right next to the Mongo.
Yeah.
And as we're walking by, Tim says, "Hey, isn't that Baryshnikov?"
Huh.
Yeah.
And we looked over. It was Baryshnikov.
Yes.
And we sat down and talked to him for a brief moment.
I got to see Nureyev. This was, my mother took me up to the Power Center. I mean, and she got 2 tickets. Who wants to go? And this was actually after Nureyev was long over his prime. But it doesn't matter. You're seeing Rudolph Nureyev dance. So, you know, I mean, if you see him walk with a walker to the men's room in the old folks' home, you do it, right? Yeah. I mean, because
it was Baryshnikov. He was there. He was doing like I don't know if he's actually doing some dancing or doing interviewing or whatever.
Right.
But he was just relaxing. I guess the show was over.
Yeah, you don't get to see that in Holly, do you? No.
No.
Yeah,
You get to see the John Deere salesman come into town and answering some embarrassing questions after he leaves the Motel 6 with a woman who's clearly not his wife.
Yes.
You know, but whatever. Fine.
Or you ask Jimmy D, our common friend.
Yeah.
He actually saw Ken Kesey, and he actually went and got high with Ken Kesey.
Who did?
Jimmy D. Arnold.
He's one of the guys we used to work with at
the company.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's something to put on your resume.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you seeing Andy Warhol.
I mean, it's not like you know, it's not like you got high with.
Jake. You know, remember.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name? Jake. Oh my God, how can I not know? Amazing Jake. No. Oh shit. Shaky Jake. My God.
Shaky Jake.
Yeah.
He was a local guy. Shaky. Hey, we used to take him around the back of the cab, of course.
Oh yeah, we had Shaky Jake and all over. You know, I mean, of course, I'm sure Mark can thrill us with stories from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I no doubt Detroit had some interesting characters roll through it.
Well, I also had a touch with the goat. I took Brady around one time.
Yep.
When he was a student.
Yep.
Did you get a chance to?
Not as I didn't bump into him as a student. I did bump into what's his name, the kid before him, Greasy's kid, Brian Greasy.
Brian Greasy.
And at that time, he was like a freshman or sophomore, so I mean, he hadn't even seen the field yet. You know, I mean, it was one of those things. And
well, I tell everybody that I taught Brady everything he knew. You know, it's like deflate the ball. Deflate the ball.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You went a little too far, but just a little bit. Deflate the ball.
But I mean, Mark, we remember that there was a time when Detroit was one of these main places you stopped. If you're like getting a show ready for Broadway,
yes,
you might tour it for a few weeks across the country. Detroit's the place you'd go.
Well, that was sort of built into the fact that the Nederlanders.
Yes, there's a name.
The Nederlanders owned Pine Knob and the Fisher Theater.
Yes.
Well, and they also owned 12 theaters on Broadway. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, that's why we had so many pre-Broadway production. Hello, Dolly, and
right. They would all run through Chicago, through Detroit.
Yeah. Well, they ran through Detroit because the producers lived in Detroit.
Yeah, and I don't know if Cleveland would get on that list or not back then or not, but.
Well, ever since all the none of the Nederlander kids stuck around Detroit. I think Joey was the last Nederlander, and he passed away about 10 years ago. So all the kids are New Yorkers. They kind of grew up there, so they don't have the connection to Detroit. So the Fisher Theater still gets some great cast, cast for great plays, but it's never like it used to be when the show was now the city is Washington D.C. where they do a lot of previews, and Philly and Chicago, of course.
Now here's where I wish Sam was still with us. Wouldn't upstate New York have also been a place where some of the shows might have gone, or am I mistaken in that? Because I remember.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they would have.
Bullets over Broadway. That's what they did.
Yeah.
They went up to Boston and hit all the small places in the top.
Well, I mean, back in the day, if you were doing like some sort of when Sam Shepard is trying to work something out, so he's running it, in some tiny little black box, off Broadway, that a few years later turns into it's a Sam Shepard play. We know it's gonna. By the way, I always thought he was a great actor. I wish I'd seen more of him acting, but again, hell of a writer too.
Now there's a guy I got to meet. Well, we're out of time.
Really?
I'll have to tell my Sam Shepard story some other time.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, you say the Sam Shepard till the end?
Well, I didn't know he was going to.
Did you meet him and Jessica Lange together?
No, he was at the Improv. I'll tell the story some other time.
All right.
All right. You know what? We're at the end of our hour. It's been great to be with you. We're here every Monday night at 8 o'clock. Hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel. Come back and see us again. Contact me if you want to be on the show. There's only 3 of us. We've been without Sam since May 1st. It's been been 6 months now, so
Miss you, Sam.
miss you, Sam. Anyway, we'll see everybody next Monday night.
Yeah, when's he coming back anyways? I mean, if he don't come back from beyond the grave, Jesus and Sam.
Well, he's